no ka leipi ka ke ho'ola le manei e ininui ko una ue ho'opo mai I laila ko umanao e pili aku me oe I ka polipu me hanga Ano ka leipi ka ke ho'ola le mai nei e ininui ko una ue ho'opo mai I laila ko umanao e pili aku me oe I ka polipu me hana Moani mai ko ala Hapuia o loko Ukua e pu'uli ai honi mau aku I ka hanu anu hea Honi ua wike o nauna I ho'ohihi ai ka manao Moani mai ko ala Hapuia o loko Ukua e pu'uli ai honi mau aku I ka hanu anu hea Honi ua wike o nauna I ho'ohihi ai ka manao Wana mai kulia Ka ini o loko E ininui ko una ue ho'opo mai I laila ko umanao E pili aku me oe I ka polipu me hana Wana mai kulia Ka ini o loko E ininui ko una ue ho'opo mai I laila ko umanao E pili aku me oe I ka polipu me hana
Hui, aloha kakahi a kakako. Hau'oli po alima everybody. Happy Friday. Mahalo nui for joining us this morning at our very first Devotional Friday. And we are going to be having these Devotional Fridays every month, once a month, up until the end of December. And then we can figure out the next part of the year for 2023. Oh my gosh, it's almost the end of the month, guys. So we want to mahalo Kawaiaha'o Church and Kahu Ken Makuakane and all of his staff for allowing us to be here in this very special halepule. And mahalo nui for all of you for joining us this morning here in person as well as online. So we want to start with our pu, and mahalo nui to Hau'oli for offering pule, and Kahu Makuakane will be doing mana'o, and then we'll be ending with our mele. So let us begin our Friday, guys, and have a great weekend. Aloha nui.
aloha kakahiaka kākou, e nā hoa, hana, e kahu, ken makua kāne mahalo ki ia launa ana mai o kākou, wahia ke akua o ke ia no ka la a Yehova I hana ai no leila, e lea lea kākou e hau oli ma leila, e ia no wau o hau oli, kahi leo kaua I ki ia kakahiaka. And ua noi ia mai wau, I've been asked by Kahu, before offering our pule vehe, our opening prayer, that I would share with you the word. Mai ka puke o ho'ike ana, o ia ho'i Revelation, mokuna iwa kālua kumamalua, na pauku e kahi a hiki aku I ka pauku e lima. Pēnei no I palapala ia. Kuhi kuhi maila oia iau, I ka muli vai o ka vaiola, a kāka, e like me ke ani ani, puka maila ia mai ka noho ali'i mai o ke akua, a o ke keiki hipa. A mawaina o kona ala nui, me ke la kapa, ke ia kapa o ka muli vai, o ka laau o ke ola. E hua ana I ka hua, he umi kumamalua ke ano, a kahi mālama, a kahi hua ana, a o nā lau, o nā laau, o ia ka mea e ola ai na la hui kanaka. A ole loa he mea ino malaila. A aia maloko o ia vai ka noho ali'i o ke akua me ke keiki hipa. A e mālama kana po e kaua I aia. A e ike aku no lako I kona maka. A aia ho I kona inoa ma ko lako maulai. A ole po malaila. A ole hoi ma ke kukui a me ka mālama lama o ka la. No ka mea na ka haku na ke akua no I ho o mālama lama I a lako. A e lilo lako I mauali'i a I ke au pau ole. Then he showed me a river of the water of life, clear as crystal, coming from the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the middle of its street, on either side of the river was the tree of life, bearing 12 kinds of fruit, yielding its fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were the healing of the nations. There will no longer be any curse, and the throne of God and of the Lamb will be in it, and his bondservants will serve him. They will see his face, and his name will be on their foreheads. And there will no longer be any night, and they will not have need of the light of the lamp or the light of the sun, because the Lord God will illumine them, and they will reign forever and ever. E ho'omalu kākou. Au hea oe e Yehova, ko mākou akua mana loa, ka makua I loko ka lani. I haliu mai oe I ke ia ko mākou leo pule, I ke ia lai ho'onani ho'omeikai, mili lani aku ia oe. Ka hiko ia oe, ka hanohana me ka ihi. E no mākou kaupo e kauai a koko mai, ke ia la, ke ia kakahiaka. Me ka hau oli, e launa pu e hui pu mai, I loko o ko aloha me ko loko mai kai. Ma ke ia e kalesia o Kawaiaha'o, kahi e maluai, kahi e ho'o manai, ko mākou po e kupuna, ko mākou po e ali'i. E launa mai ko uhane he molele me mako ia ako ko mai ki ia kakahiaka no ke ia la, ke ia ho'omana, ke ia hana hai pule, e ke ia po alima nani, ma ke ia la ho au I hanai. E hui kala mai o ia mako ke akua he wahi leo mihi ke ia no ko mako lave hala ana, ko mako hewa ke kahi, mamu o ko alo ke akua, o iai he po e kanaka wale no mako, ke ia la hui kanaka, he mai hama noho I mako. A ka hili na ino ho I mako ho mai ka I maua mau I na kaua kau I kau keiki ka moli aola no mako kanaka o ka ho ola o ke au nei o Yesu. E olo ke akua e ho piha mai ki I manawa me ka hau oli, me ke aho nui, me ka maluhia, a me ka mana hoi o kau kanaka lave o ia hoi ke kahu nona kia ka mana o I kia kakahiaka. E olu ke akua e ka hinu mai oi I kona waha, kona alelo, I puka mai ka oia I o. o kona hai ewanelio o yeho i o kahu ken ma kua kane ke kahu aloha nui ia o ke ia e kalesia o Kawaiaha'o. E olu kia ko he wahinoi ke ia e alakai mai na alakai na po'o o ke kula o ka meha ko mako alakai na lako i ho'o lala ho'o kumu i ke ia papahana me na limahana a pau i a kokoa na limahana i paahana no hoi mana oihana like ole na kuleana o ko mako wahihana. Ai ka panina o ke ia papahana ke akua nau noe alakai a hahai a mako ke alakupone e holo muai i mea e ho'o nani, ho'o maikai, i nea e ho'o hua maikai ai no i na hana au i ho'o kumu ai no mako pakahi a pau e like me ko make. Ke pulene no hoi mako i ke ia mau mea a pau. I loko ka inoa hemolele o kau keiki hiwa ko mako haku ho'ola o Yesu Kristo. Amene, amene, amene. Mahalo.
He mea nui ke aloha I na kini pua lei mamoha vai kaleo vai kaleo konoa koho o ki pai ke ki pa anai Kawaiaha'o nei ma'ane I mau ke aloha ko a ko e no na puala waku ulei ma'ane I mau ke aloha ko a ko e no na puala waku ulei e o e na kini puale mamo Hawaii.
I am so excited this morning. You know, one of my favorite things to do is to watch a movie twice, because the first time you miss a lot of stuff. So I wanted to call my reflections today, begin with the end in mind. So because I like to watch movies 2 times, I decided that I was going to start reading the Bible backwards, the last chapter first, and then go all the way. So I know what the ending is, you know, because if you know what the ending is, everything is all good, right? So that's why I had Hau'oli read the final chapter. And as it says, the angel showed me the river of life, the water of life. Wow, Kavaiola. And so when God created the world, He started with light, and the first thing He did was He put water around us. Namo aina, only get this water. And so it goes on and on. So in this thing, I was reading Stephen Covey, and he was talking about this thing, keeping the end in mind, because we always like to do strategic planning, especially at Kamehameha, over here at Kawaiaha'o, and everywhere else. And so, you know, when I was also looking, I think all around the world, we get like this top 10 list we like do, you know, like football get top 10, basketball get top 10, everything get top 10. Well, that's not a new concept. Because you ever heard of the 10 Commandments? You see, everybody would start the top 10 because they would cheat. They would look at the Bible and then, but you know, you don't even look at the end. So you're thinking, I created something brand new. But no, we are towards the end of this thing. So I was looking at how can this last chapter of Revelation tell us the story about the beginning of the Bible. So this is what it says over here. In Revelation, the last chapter, 22, in verse 5, it says, there will be no more night. They will not need the light of a lamp or the light of the sun, for Lord God will give them light. And that was my OMG moment, because if you go back to the very first chapter of the very first book of the Bible in Genesis, it says in Genesis 1, verses 1 to 3, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And now the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was all over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the water. Heard that before? Yeah, was at the ending. But in the beginning, it said the same thing. And then if you go and you start to read verse 3, it says, and God said, this is the first thing he said, and God said, let there be light. So when we go to the very end, they say the same thing, because they go in verse 5 of Revelation, there will be no more night. They will not depend on the lamp, but God will light their way. So the Bible is contained from the beginning to the end with the same thing. So if we read the end of the Bible backwards, we find out that everything is self-contained. So I don't know what we worried about, because the story has already been told. So when we do our strategic plannings at work, we don't start by going, I'm going to start here, or like building a house. Before you even put the first nail in the wood, somebody got to imagine the total picture with everything in it, and all the budget and everything else that goes in it. And then after you get it all in your head, so what I say is, we create things, the principle is we create things twice all the time. Once in our heart, in our head, our heart, and then we do it in our hands. So I call it head, heart, and hands. You put it in your mind to create the picture, then you give it kuleana, right? And then as you do, then you do the do. So that's how we do strategic planning. But I didn't get it from any book except this book. This book was the one that gave me the plan. So we keep forgetting that everything we want to do, get the design inside this bugger over here. We don't have to worry, but we have to know where we're going before we start to go. Because if we like climb up this ladder, so-called ladder of success, and then we get to the top and we find out, oh wait, we're on the wrong wall. And you got to go down and put the ladder back up and then climb that ladder of success to where you want to go. That's what strategic planning is. And God is the master of strategic planning, because he built everything, including us, with the end in mind. And so the end is that this is our temporary address, and our permanent address is up there. Mortality rate, the last time I checked on Google, is 100%. None of us getting out of here alive. That means that this has only been our temporary address. Why do you think we over here talking story? Because we already know the end. And that's what faithful people do, is create that. So, again, go back to the last chapter of the book, and then go back to the first chapter of the first book, and the buggers align like this. Just like how you folks align to this beautiful school that we call home. Because you still align to the will of the princess, and even your leadership, they still align. It may look different from leadership to leadership, but the mana'o and the kuleana still exist in the same light as we hold hands together in what we call Kamehameha schools. Mahalo.
Hake pule nei o Kawaiaha'o me kona kahu o kahu makua kane. A me nā ohana ma ka punai vele. Aloha pumehana kākou.
Aloha.
You know, as kahu makua kane had his OMG moment, I would offer an OMA moment. O mai akua. Ano laila. E himeni kākou ia ua mau. I haku ia nā kahu Moses ke ale no ka mokupuni o ni ihau mai. Ua mau mai e ka pono, mai ka makualani mai, ke hui nei mako, I kona loko mai kai. Hosana ia ke akua, manalani kie, Kawaiaha'o ana mai, I ko kakola. Ke hui nei mako, makua me keiki, lo kahi puta manao, I ho'o kahi pu'uwai.
Hosanna.
Hosana ia ke akua, manalani kie, Kawaiaha'o ana mai, I ko kakola, I ko kakola, I ko kakola. Amen. I was directed by our director, Nani Dudua, to ha'awi aloha ia okua pau, mahalo ka hele anu mai, ke ia kakahiaka, po a lima. Mahalo ia kahu, ked makua kane, o ke ia hale pule kaulana, ma laahia no hoi, o Kawaiaha'o, aloha no kākou, e ka ohana o ke kula o Kamehameha, aloha.
Sometimes late at night I lie awake and watch her sleeping. She's lost in peaceful dreams, so I turn out the light, lay there in the dark. Then a thought crosses my mind. If I never wake up in the morning, hey, will she ever doubt the way I feel about her in my heart? If tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I love her? Did I try in every way to show her every day she's my only one? When my life on earth is through, she must face this world without me. Is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? I've lost loved ones in my life who never knew how much I love them. Now I live with the regret that my true feelings for them never was revealed. So I made a promise to myself to say each day how much she means to me, and avoid that circumstance where there's no second chance, or to tell her how I feel. If tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I love her? Did I try in every way to show her every day she's my only one? When my life on earth is through, she must face this world without me. Is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? Is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes?
Kawaiaha'o